A tower is not just a building. It is a trial, a prison, and the only path to power, wealth, and answers for those brave enough to climb its deadly floors. Every summer, young aspirants risk everything to hunt monster sacrifices, unlock their class, and become official climbers. For Will, an orphan with a hidden god-tier treasure and a lifelong mystery hanging over his head, this summer is not just a coming-of-age ritual. It is the start of a war to find his missing parents, conquer the tower floor by floor, and turn every stacked odd against him into unshakable strength. Will's journey begins rough and reckless. At St. Gertrude's orphanage, he shovels bread like every meal is his last, ignoring the old priestess's repeated warnings. Gertrude is no ordinary caretaker, a former high-rank climber who once reached the 12th floor. She knows exactly how brutal the tower truly is. She teaches Will the most vital rule for every aspiring climber: never rush your class trial. Take your time, hunt wisely, trade supplies, and never gamble your life on incomplete power. Eager to begin his hunt, Will teams up with his only reliable friend, Ben. While other new hunters waste time on trivial prey, the pair stumbles onto two game-changing kills on their first day. They take down a swift, jump-enhanced jumper monster in a brutal close-quarters fight, surviving narrow scrapes and fresh wounds to claim their first valid sacrifice. Moments later, they discover a massive wetlands gulper, a highly valuable monster whose tongue alone sells for a fortune in silver. In a risky, self-devised trap, Will binds himself to a tree to bait the gulper's deadly 20-foot tongue, letting Ben land the finishing blows. The risky gambit pays off completely. They walk away with enough currency to buy top-tier beginner sacrifices, turning a single hunt into massive early game progress. Venturing into the bustling bazaar, Will ignores flashy offensive magic sacrifices and makes a ruthless, veteran-level choice. He trades all his hard-earned silver for a spirit turtle sacrifice, prioritizing defense over fleeting power. Seasoned climber Kyle Fontaine and his party confirm Will's wisdom. Every lord who rules the tower's upper floors shares one trait: they know how to stay alive long enough to grow stronger. While exploring the market, Ben unlocks his first ever relic, a minor acid ring that sparks their excitement for future upgrades. But beneath the celebratory mood, paranoia lingers. Will's distrust of strangers proves well-founded. The seemingly friendly veteran climbers are not here to mentor new recruits, they are here to manipulate them. After a week of healing and planning, Will returns to the hunting grounds, newly equipped with proper boots and fresh strategy. He reconnects with Kyle's party, who offer him an irresistible opportunity: hunting will-o'-the-wisps, ultra-rare illusion monsters that grant elite focus and meta-magic abilities. These wisps are nearly impossible for newbies to preserve, requiring a skilled sorceress to trap their essence before they vanish forever. After an all-night stakeout, Will lands a perfect slingshot, stunning the wisp and letting the party's mage bottle its essence. For the first time in his life, Will holds 3 complete, powerful sacrifices: his secret Yuri Drake scale, the defensive spirit turtle, and the magic-boosting will-o'-wisp. The class trial portal instantly opens, signaling his ascension is moments away. But in a brutal, heartbreaking betrayal, Ben shoves Will into the trial portal mid-conversation. In the chaos of his fall, Will's satchel rips open. All his hard-earned sacrifices scatter across the forest floor. He is pulled into the white void of the class trial alone, trapped without the 3 items required to claim his class, staring down a slow, certain death with no visible escape. While Will fights to survive in the trial dimension, his orphanage protege Jason steps up, becoming his self-appointed hype man, spreading outrageous legends of Will's strength and invincibility across town. Jason builds Will's reputation from nothing, laying the groundwork for his future fame long before he escapes the trial. Against all odds, Will breaks free of the trial's trap and reunites with his growing party of elite young climbers. Leveling up to 25. He unlocks a critical upgrade for his Phantom Hand ability via a Dimensional Oyster sacrifice. His dimensional storage gains a powerful size shrinking effect scaled to his unmatched acuity, exponentially boosting his looting and combat potential. The team clears a 5th floor key site, taking down a towering Keju monster in a coordinated assault. Their newest party member, Alicia, unveils her terrifying curse ability, killing the colossal beast instantly with a targeted neurological curse. The victory unlocks access to the tower's legendary 6th floor, a boundless ocean realm of floating wreckage, giant monsters, and endless hidden danger. Acclimating to the 6th floor's miasma, the team lands on a massive field of ship wreckage, swarming with deadly crab monsters with wood-shearing pincers. Will bends the ocean to his will with his ice aspect ability, creating floating platforms to bottleneck the crab swarm. The team fights in perfect sync, using crowd control fire blasts, and feral close quarters combat to wipe out the monster horde, securing rare building materials for a new ship. Just as the battle ends, a deadly hidden threat emerges. A harmless drifting cloud reveals itself as a massive swarm of flying sharks, lying in ambush to devour any intruders. Travis, the party's decoy specialist, uses illusions and luring noise to redirect the shark horde, saving the team from instant annihilation while Mason melts waves of monsters with explosive fire magic. In the middle of the chaotic aerial battle, Will is swallowed whole by a leviathan-sized ocean beast, a monster big enough to devour Keiju in a single bite. Trapped inside the creature's dark, crushing insides, Will refuses to die. He blasts a cannonball through the leviathan's stomach, claws his way through flesh and bone and bursts back into the open ocean, gasping for breath and covered in monster blood. The leviathan eventually succumbs to its wounds, collapsing dead on the ocean surface. Loth, the party's insect master, begins harvesting its colossal skeleton to build an indestructible custom ship, turning the deadly near-death encounter into their biggest structural loot yet. While waiting for the ship's completion, Will decodes the exact formulas for his Sword of Relic forging ability and dimensional storage shrinkage, mastering his core powers and pushing his build far beyond ordinary climber limits. The team finally escapes the cramped raft and moves into their massive new Leviathan bone ship, ready to explore the 6th floor's floating city known as the Flotilla. But as the ship's final resin layers harden and the open ocean stretches endlessly ahead, a new, unamoebal pressure begins rising from the deepest ocean abyss. The Leviathan they killed was merely a minor predator in this realm. Something far larger, far deadlier, and actively hunting them is stirring from the dark depths, and it is already closing in.